Hi everyone, my name is Monica and I've done my project on Tokyo, Japan. A brief overview, Tokyo is an island nation with a big history of isolation. When I was going over the history of it, that was the big thing that really stuck out and helped create Japan's unique culture because it has limited influence from other regions of the world, so it's really a once in a lifetime experience. You'll see the population is 9.3 million. The population tends to be really concentrated in urban and suburban areas, leaving a lot of room for nature all around Tokyo that's really great to experience, or all around Japan. For landmarks in Tokyo, there's of course Tokyo Tower, which you could see on my introduction slide very prominently, as well as Mount Fuji that you can also see on the introduction slide. Common food, of course, seafood because it is an island nation. Rice is a big staple, miso soup is always available, and the most popular and most well known food from Japan, sushi. Sports, there's sumo, judo, karate, baseball, soccer, rugby, a good mix of sports that are well known and less well known outside of Tokyo. For religion, there's Shinto and Buddhism, which you can really see all across Japan in the different shrines that they have everywhere and are very beautiful to visit. And lastly, for the people, this is a very high context population of homogeneous people who tend to be very polite and hardworking. Those are kind of the two things that stick out about the population. Big challenges to attracting tourists. Of course, it is an urban city, a very populated one, and it is overcrowded, which could turn people off. Things are expensive, which could turn people off. And it's very train centric, which visitors might not be used to. You shouldn't really visit Tokyo with your car. You should take a train there, which some people might find off putting. And of course, anywhere you go, there's weather issues. In Tokyo, it has rainy seasons. There have been some big earthquakes and tsunamis there that could turn off, especially international travelers. Of course, again, for international travelers, there's a language barrier with the common language in Japan being Japanese. And like I said before, it's a homogeneous and high context culture, which could throw off international travelers because it's very easy to feel like a fish out of water when you're visiting. Opportunities to attract tourists. A big one is the nightlife. It is an urban area with a lot of nightclubs and casinos and bright lights and drinks, and it is a really fun time to visit to see the nightlife. There's, of course, the fashion industry. Japan's really well known for its fashion industry internationally, and they're also known internationally for technological advancements. Festivals go on throughout the year, the most popular ones being the cherry blossom festivals in the spring. I think those are really well known. Like I said, there's shrines everywhere for Shinto gods, which are very beautiful and very interesting to learn all about. There's onsens, which are like natural hot springs that you can bathe in and are so cool. And like I said, despite the high population, there is a lot of room left for nature all around Japan and just right outside of Tokyo, which you can see with Mount Fuji that are easy to visit. And like I said, it has been an isolated nation for so long that it has a very unique culture. There is not another place like Japan. So, for branding purposes, I think the most important things to emphasize about Tokyo are its high energy, that it's experiential, it's unique, and the really big thing is that it is a blend of modern things like fashion and technology that are advanced past the United States, and traditional things like shrines and festivals that go back to Tokyo's roots and would be fun for people interested in historical values when they are visiting other countries. And of course, like I said, nature should be heavily emphasized and is so beautiful and a very popular tourist attraction. Okay, next is target audience. For the international campaign, we're going to be focusing on getting tourists from the United States, and I decided to focus on adventurous young Americans. So for their demographics, we're looking at people who are 23 to 30 years old, who are both male and female, living in urban areas like NYC and Chicago, who are single and whose income is $35,000 to $75,000. For psychographics, we're looking at people who are adventurous, fun seekers, frequent international travelers. I wouldn't say Tokyo is for people who don't enjoy traveling internationally. Because it is so unique and because it is so easy to experience a culture shock there, you really want people who like traveling and like learning about other cultures and would feel comfortable with that fish out of water experience that you would have in Tokyo. So for American tourists, I think their big key interests would be visiting cultural landmarks, visiting festivals, of course, and visiting nature. Okay, here is a more in-depth travel analysis of Americans. For overall preferences, interest in Japan has been increasing over the years. This is partially due to a change in how Japan lets people into the country. It's become a lot easier, so it is easier to travel there and vacation there. People typically fly from LA or San Francisco when traveling to Japan, and they usually travel to Japan alone, which is a thing I noticed for both audiences, which is why when talking about that target demographic, I emphasized that we really do just want to emphasize getting singles to travel to Japan as opposed to families. For the main Japan destinations, the big ones for international travelers and specifically Americans are Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto, with Tokyo being trumping the others tremendously, like 70% or something visit Tokyo specifically. So it is already winning as the main Japanese destination. It's not, however, winning as the main international destination. For Americans, we have Caribbean countries, because cruises are really popular. We have Mexico, France, Rome, and London in the United Kingdom. For reasons for travel, Americans do usually travel for leisure, but of course a high number also travel for work. The big drivers for Japan, again, are shopping, nightlife, festivals, shrines, technology, and food. For obstacles, we have language and customs barriers, rainy weather, navigating public transportation, and the possibility of encountering an earthquake, and limited food options. If you don't like seafood in Japan, it can be a bit challenging, but if you're visiting Tokyo, which is kind of built for tourists, that's less of an issue there specifically. The price point for international visitors is going to be about $258 per day, and for access, it is easily accessible by plane. Obviously, you could get there by a boat, but Japanese cruises are not like a big thing to emphasize. It's very much plane or nothing there. So the key insights we're pulling from this American target market are that Tokyo is already the most popular Japanese destination for Americans, but it is not nearly the most popular in the world. This suggests that only hardcore international travelers, not casual vacationers, would prefer Tokyo, Japan. This also suggests Tokyo's main competition is other international destinations, not domestic ones. And also, as I mentioned, singles rather than couples or groups or families should be targeted due to common travel habits. And due to the price point, the target should have some disposable income or see travel as a priority, which is why I focused on Americans who are 23 to 30 because they would still likely be single, but have a bit more disposable income than, say, trying to get college students to go. That being said, for domestic travel, trying to get people within Japan to visit Tokyo, we are going to focus on university students. The demographics, 18 to 25 years old, males and females living in suburban areas. For example, Chiba, Kawasaki, Saitama. people who are single, university students, and income about 20 to 35,000. But as we know, it's kind of hard to estimate university students' income, so that's a little iffy number. Psychographics, we have fun seekers, extroverted and energetic, partiers, shoppers, and love special, unique events. People who really want to be where the action is. So the key interests are going to be nightlife, shopping, and festivals. So more in-depth travel analysis, overall preferences. I was reading that people in Japan like to book a season in advance, not go last minute. So the advertising time should reflect that. And the majority, again, travel alone. The main domestic destinations are Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya, Fukuoka, and Naha. And again, Tokyo trumps the others in the amount of visitors they receive. Main international destinations are Taipei, Taiwan, Hong Kong, China, and Seoul, South Korea. Reasons for travel are predominantly work. I think that could be the big issue when traveling when advertising Tokyo to people within Japan, is that it's seen as a big hub for work, and we want to really steer away from that. Drivers are shopping, nightlife, festivals, shrines, technology, and food. Obstacles are rainy weather, navigating public transportation, and the possibility of encountering an earthquake. Price point is $196 per day for domestic travelers, and access. It's easily accessible by train or plane. And again, that's way more common than driving. People don't really drive to Tokyo. Key insight for this Japanese target market: Tokyo is already the most popular domestic travel destination, especially when festivals and events are happening. It's a business hub, like I said, so to increase leisure travel, its fun drivers need to be emphasized over the large amount of business professionals walking around. And again, we want to emphasize singles rather than couples or groups or families. And they should be targeted due to common travel habits that already exist in Tokyo. Okay, finally, for strategy. For our marketing strategy for the United States, our get to buy is going to be get adventurous young individuals to visit Tokyo, Japan, by presenting it as a unique blend of traditional and modern culture that must be experienced. For Japan, we are going to have to get young individuals in suburban Japan to visit Tokyo by presenting it as an energetic hub for cutting-edge shopping, unique events, and unforgettable night out on the town. Okay, for the creative expressions for the United States, the big emphasis is that this is where the traditional and modern meet. From its cultural temples and festivals to its energetic nightlife and shopping, Tokyo is your next stop. Ready for a culture shock? For Japan, get energized, get Tokyo. Escape for the week by slipping into Tokyo's nightlife, cutting-edge trends, and must-see events. Tokyo is a step ahead. Don't fall behind. For communication strategy for the United States, we are going to primarily emphasize on online and out-of-home advertisements. Again, because we're trying to advertise in an urban area, I think public transportation and billboards are our best bets for reaching people, trying to get them on their commute. And for online is a good option, again, because of the age demographic. You have a large amount of Americans 23 to 30 online, and the amount of data that advertisers online are getting makes it very easy to target people based on their demographic information. For online, we'll do banner ads as well as social media, specifically Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And for timing, we want to do a 6-month campaign starting in September, October, to encourage a spring vacation around March or April. For Japan, very similarly, we have a target audience that is online a lot, and I think online advertisements would be the best way to reach them, again, using Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. and banner ads that can target people based off their demographic information. For out of home, we have flyers and billboards near or on campus or suburban areas. And for timing, again, a 6-month campaign, this time starting in March or April, to encourage a fall vacation, because they will be in school during that time, and all right, so here's my first ad for the United States. An example of a banner advertisement where we are emphasizing, again, where traditional and modern meet. You see the traditional emphasized by the cherry blossoms and the modern emphasized by the skyscraper buildings. And of course, the call to action with visittokyo.com. Again, these will target the aforementioned demographic, as well as individuals who frequently visit airplane, hotel, travel, and Japan-centric websites. Ads will run in fall and winter months, and we have this call to action, visittokyo.com. An example of an out-of-home advertisement, we have a Subway ad where tradition and modern meet, and I just love this picture because it emphasizes modern, using Tokyo Tower in the skyline, but also you see just how close Mount Fuji is in the background to emphasize the tradition and nature that exists within Japan, so close to the city. Ads will be seen along people's commute, again, on subways, on public transportation, on buses, and on billboards along major roads. And these would want to be placed in major urban cities in the USA, like I said, like Chicago or New York. Okay, another ad, we have a YouTube advertisement for the United States from the Tokyo Tourism Center, which probably does exist, and social media ads like this one will target, again, the aforementioned demographic, as well as individuals who frequent airplane, hotel, travel, and Japan-centric websites. Ads will run in fall and winter. And for this YouTube ad specifically, we would have versions that are 15 seconds that can't be skipped, and that are 2 minutes and could be skipped. And they will advertise both traditional and modern aspects of Tokyo by showcasing American tourists experiencing both. And finally, we have a billboard advertisement for the United States, so more out of home, that would be placed along major roads in urban cities in the USA to run during the fall and winter months, and emphasizes the modern through the kimono and cherry blossoms, the traditional through the cherry blossoms and kimonos, and the modern through the city lights. All right, for the Japan advertisements, we have this Instagram ad, come early, stay late. So it's emphasizing festivals during the day, as well as Tokyo's nightlife during the night. And then these, again, would be targeted toward the chosen demographic during spring and summer months. And again, Tokyo is really known for its shopping and fashion sense, so I really wanted to fit in at least one ad that really just emphasized the fashion in Tokyo. So this ad reads, "Need a fashion upgrade? Visit Tokyo.com." To be placed on public transportation and billboards along major roads in suburban areas and on university campuses, and ads will run during spring and summer months. Okay, flyer advertisement that would be dispersed on university campuses and hung in windows of suburban shops, again during spring and summer months when people are at university. And this ad in particular emphasizes Tokyo's events and urban advertisement and urban environment. It reads, "Need a study break? Come early, stay late, get Tokyo." And finally, we have our summary. Tokyo, Japan is a perfect destination for energetic, adventurous, fun-seeking young singles. Its cutting-edge shopping, nightlife, and technology are popular reasons to travel there both domestically and internationally. For international travelers, Tokyo, Japan has the perfect mixture of traditional culture and modern attractions that must be experienced. Tokyo, Japan is a unique experience you can't miss. Thank you, everyone.